Hello, Elberic here with another new video for New World, this time covering off Amrine Dungeon. Going to do a little bit of a guide for you. We'll go through where chests are, how to defeat the slightly troublesome final boss and penultimate boss, and cover off the basics for you, and hopefully not take too long to go through it. To start off with, to cover off the healing abilities I'm using, I am doing this run as a healer, so I'm using Life Staff and Ice Gauntlet. For the Life Staff, I am using, I'd say it's about level 8 or 9. It's probably where you want to get your Life Staff before doing any of the dungeons. You've got Absolved, Blissful Touch, and then Sacred Ground with Holy Ground and Blessed. These are kind of key, I feel, because Sacred Ground gives you a nice chunk of AoE healing, then regenerates stamina and mana for anybody in the AoE, and then Blessed also gives an additional 50% from all other sources of healing. So any pots they use, any additional healing you throw at them will get an additional 50%. On the protector side, we're using Bend Light, which gives you additional 20% more effective healing for 5 seconds after each dodge. Beacon, which will attach to a friendly, a enemy, or to the ground, and again will generate an AoE healing field. And then Light's Embrace. I'm using this over Divine Embrace, whilst it only gives 100% weapon damage heals, whereas Divine Embrace gives 150%. You also get 30% more healing for each buff that's already on your target. So if you've got Sacred Ground down and Beacon, and your person that you're healing is standing within those, you're going to get about 220% weapon damage for your healing, which is more than the 150 you'll get from Divine Embrace. That covers off the Life Staff. For Ice Gauntlet, you don't have to use Ice Gauntlet. I just find it very useful for in a pinch moment in dungeons. I've got Ice Spikes, again, not necessary. You could go with Ice Pylon if you wanted. I've then got Ice Storm. This is a nice AoE, I find, just to do additional damage to big packs that your party might be dealing with. Quick Frost, Empowered Frost, just to get entombed, and this is the tight pinch situations. So if you are getting low on health and need to just save yourself whilst the party deals with whatever's attacking you, or if you need to quickly regenerate your mana, you can go into your entombed state, won't take any damage, you'll regen your mana. Once you're safe, you can pop back out and start healing or doing damage. And that's my abilities I've got for this, so let's go into the dungeon. Okay, so the dungeon. You're going to need to have a dedicated tank and a dedicated healer. Obviously, I'm doing the healing in this run. Other things to note are you can get additional damage weapon coatings. If I can't remember what they're called, but it's for Lost, is what we have in Amrine. There are 6 chests to collect, so we'll cover those off. You can make this jump if you're not stupid like me and do it too early. It does cut out the first pack if you're trying to do a speed run, which apparently one of our party members is trying to do. So you'll actually make the jump this time. There we go. There is a quest outside the dungeon from the Dog Barkamedes, which unlocks at level 25. You'll need to collect 5 bones from specific enemies within Amrine. We'll show you who those are. It gives you a nice bit of extra XP, and it is repeatable, so you can do it every time you come in here. I would advise you wait until level 25 before doing Amrine. It can be a bit tough if you're doing it before that. So here we have the first sort of major pack, and you'll see in the background of the screen at the moment there is like a trash pile. These will respawn mobs continuously until you kill it off, so you want to kill these as quickly as possible. And you'll also see to the right there is the first of the 6 chests, just behind the tent. You will want to make sure you come into Amrine with empty bags, because you will get a lot of loot, most of it trash. You can salvage whilst you're in here, but easier just to have empty bags. I'm going to speed up the bits sort of in between the highlights that we want to discuss, just to try and keep this video a bit shorter than the 20 minutes it would have been without speeding it up, but not quite going to the point where it's completely Benny Hill-like. There are some silver ore nodes and some rivercress within the dungeon as well. One of the silver ores is just over to the right of where I am at the moment, where that monster spawned in from. Unfortunately, we do have, as I said, some person in the party who's trying to speedrun it and keeps running off. The second chest is down to the left here. These are the guys that will drop the bones, so these Star Excavation Ravagers. You should be able to get all 5 from one run of the dungeon. However, sometimes I'm not sure if it's bugs and 1 or 2 of them don't drop, but the first time I did it I only got 4 bones. I had done it before and got all 5. I potentially just missed one, but I don't think so, so I think one bugged out. This run actually was the second time I did it, so I only picked up the 1 bone. But you should see me pick that up in a second. These little steps that say locked with lights around them we'll come to later. That's the sort of main puzzle. There's the succulent bone. You don't have to worry about them at the moment. Just keep going through Amrine. You'll see the second trash pile up there at the back. We're not close enough for it to continuously spawn. No, there you go. You see it spawned some more. So ideally we should be up there fighting so we can kill it off as quickly as possible, but we've got 2 or 3 people in our party. Just one person who fell back to pick up that first chest. So, you briefly saw it on the left there, but you'll want to use your Azov staff on that sort of tall stone there. That'll give you the ability to continue through the dungeon. I think it unlocks a door or something like that, but you need to interact with it to continue. And just a few more trash mobs. There is a key here on the right, but you want to go around and clear these trash mobs first. So get rid of the trash piles, get rid of the spawns. Kill them all off, and then go back to unlock the door and the next chest. There is one mob there you can see that we're just leaving. So that's the key in the centre there. You'll need to use your Azov staff on it to activate it. Once it's finished the interaction, a mob will spawn where I'm standing. It's not too strong, so you could potentially just leave one person back to deal with it, but I'm sticking here just in case. Once he's dead, you can just run around and ignore any other mobs that spawn. You'll see one in the left corner there. We could have just left it. I thought my DPS was going to attack it, so I attacked it as well, and he turned off at the last second. So leave that one on the right that's down the stairs. He won't attack you unless you go and engage with him. And then the third chest is just behind this corner. So we now have half the chests in the dungeon. As you see, it drops you a lot of loot. As you progress through the dungeon, you'll unlock these respawn points. So if you do die, you don't have to go all the way back to the beginning. And here we get up to the puzzle. So there are 3 of these pads. One person needs to stand on each one to unlock the bridge. When you do it, 2 enemies will spawn. This big guy and another guy way off behind where I am at the moment. What you want to do is have the majority of your party stick here to deal with the big guy, and the person that unlocks the pad on the furthest left, which you'll see in a second, run over and join you, because that guy then won't follow him. So you only have to worry about dealing with the big guy, get the succulent bone, and come up, cross the bridge, and deal with these guys. You either want to cross the bridge fully or pull them across the bridge. You don't want to fight on the bridge because the guy with wings has a knockback effect. Also to note, these big guys have that vomit spit ability, which is a damage over time if you stand in it, and will really drain your health quickly, so you want to avoid standing in that. There is a key there you want to pick up, where everybody sort of stood to the left, and I'm ignoring. Only one of you needs to pick it up. That will unlock the penultimate boss for Amrine. So we've got 3 more mobs in here to deal with. 1 big guy, 1 winged guy, and 1 fire spirit. I can't remember the names of these guys. Star excavation. I can't see, it's moving too quickly. Plague something. Once you've killed them, you want to come around to the side here, deal with these last couple of mobs, and pick up the 4th chest. The 5th chest is here, but you'll see it's locked. You will unlock when you defeat this penultimate boss. This one can be a little bit frustrating because it generates a stun field that if you get caught in it, you will be stunned for a good second and a half. If you manage to dodge out of it, you'll just get a slight, literally split second. But if you get caught in it fully, you will be out the combat for a good second and a half. Otherwise, he's not too bad to deal with. You want to avoid those ghosts that sort of spawn in as well. They'll do a lot of damage to you, especially if you're squishy like me. There's another stun field. You see the ghosts. They tend to go the direction that somebody in the field is facing from the back, I believe. I don't know quite how it works, but if you can avoid them, avoid them. And not too difficult, so long as you avoid the stun fields. And then that unlocks chest number 5. Not too long to go now, and we'll be at the final boss. 1 more big guy here. This should be the 5th one to give you your 5 succulent bones. Just a couple more trash mobs to deal with. 1 elite. 2 elites even. And that's the final checkpoint. And in this room is the final boss, Simon Grey. So the key thing with Simon Grey is he will spawn a couple of mobs a couple of ads to fight alongside him. You ideally just want to ignore these. They will die, but they will then respawn. But he has a very large health pool, so you want to be focusing all your damage on him. The ads will occasionally run and fight somebody else. What seems to work best is have 4 people on the boss where the healing fields are going to go down, and if the ads come and attack you as the healer, literally run around and try and avoid them until somebody can get the aggro off you and drag them back to the boss. You want to be fighting in a small group as much as possible so the healing gets the most effect. And again, like I said, this is really key where you don't really want to be fighting at too low a level because he will knock you for quite a lot of damage. If you are low level, he'll probably one-shot you. You can see here Andrew and a couple of our party members getting tagged to sort of like 50-60% health. Most of the people in my party for this run were level 28 or above, so if you're going to be trying this at level 20, you may well get one shot. So you can see a couple of ads sort of targeting me there. I just ran away, let somebody else get the aggro, focus on healing, dodge out the way, and just keep it going like that until you drain his health down. And that is Amrine. Victory. There is a couple more bits to note just before we exit out here. If you're doing the story quest line and this is your first time doing Amrine, you want to come over here. There is something you'll need to pick up. And then over here is chest number 6, which is the final chest. And that is it for Amrine. Exit the dungeon, hand in the Barkamedes quest if you got it. Pick it up again if you want to do Amrine again. And that is it for the guide. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. But otherwise, I'll speak to you soon.